My first copy of Adobe Photoshop was a long time ago when I was a teenager. I got it when I was visiting the Philippines with my family, and I ended up in an electronics store. And I bought this CD that actually had like 50 different programs in it, and Adobe Photoshop 5.5 was one of them. And that was the only way that I could really get access to like a prosumer tool like that. And I remember I really used the hell out of Adobe Photoshop 5.5. I would think I was using it up until the point that Creative Suite 3 was out, which was so many years after that version of Photoshop. And I just think about, if I were to try and get a copy of Photoshop the legit way, it would have been so expensive, like hundreds of dollars, which I didn't have, my family didn't have at the time. But also, if it wasn't for me getting that ripped version of Photoshop from the Philippines, I probably wouldn't have even gotten into design and wouldn't have been where I am today. And the thing I like about Figma was that it is super accessible. Like you could use it for free, you could log onto it on a web browser. You don't need to know about this prosumer app and know where to download it and how to use it. And I think that's really cool for designers now, that how accessible it is. And I think there's a new generation of designers that if it wasn't for a tool like Figma, they wouldn't have even explored a curiosity in design and gotten into design. And I think that's what I'm a little bit more fearful of with Adobe just buying up all these competitor apps, is that they make them a little bit less accessible for the new generation of designers. That person who doesn't even know that they're into design may not even explore that curiosity because of how expensive or inaccessible Adobe makes their products, through how expensive the monthly subscriptions are, even uh, for the Creative Cloud. Uh, $80 a month is a lot to be able to explore products in the Adobe suite. Even at $30 a month just for one app, like Photoshop, for example, is kind of steep. And I think I'm just afraid of that potentially happening for the future of Figma. I know the founder of Figma said that there's going to be no changes in the app, and I hope that that stays that way for as long as possible before they start putting the paywall on it or putting it behind a Creative Cloud subscription. So that's just the thoughts that I wanted to get out about that, and I just really hope that design tools remain accessible for people to be able to explore any curiosities they have in design.